Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of Andrewsfootball.com. Welcome to my Week 15 preview. Now, if you're new to my channel, there's this button right around here. See it? Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. My channel scientifically proven to make all your wildest dreams come true. Now, I'm not going to break down every single game, but if there is a game that you're curious about, you can always email me at askandrewsfootball@yahoo.com, and I will, if you give me 24 hours, I'll go ahead and give you my expert analysis and opinion of the game, and if you should or should not bet on it. Now, I just got done watching Thursday Night Football, and Baltimore with a win. Now, they only need one more win to wrap up the 1 seed. Now, keep in mind, if both New England and Kansas City both lose, they have the 1 seed wrapped up, but that's probably not going to happen. New England, of course, has that situation with Cincinnati. The NFL hasn't gone over everything. I personally think when everything's said and done, they're going to lose their first round draft pick. So that's my opinion. That's what I think will be the punishment. I'll give you more details when it becomes made public. I'll let you know. We'll discuss it then. Right now, I'm letting you know, I think they're going to lose their first. What do you think? They play Cincinnati. They're going to win that game. Okay, they're going to win that game. Their record's going to be 11-3, and they're going to go against Buffalo. Even if the Bills lose, the Bills can still win the East with 2 victories, and New England losing the season ender. Again, I don't think that's going to happen, but weirder things have happened. A dark horse for the 2 seed, believe it or not, is both the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. They need a lot of things to happen, but they play each other in Tennessee this week. Both teams are 8-5. The winner, of course, will have the inside track for the South, but the cool thing is these 2 teams play again the last week of the season in Houston, so that game could be for the division. Titans have the toughest road of anybody to get to the playoffs because they have Houston at home this week, Saints at home next week, then at Houston. Houston has a pretty tough road also. They got, of course, Tennessee before going to at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's been playing some good damn football lately, so that's not a gimme. And then, of course, they wrap up the season at home against Tennessee. Here's the thing, the winner has control of the South. The loser needs help to secure that wild card. Speaking of wild card, you got Buffalo at Pittsburgh, and I'm not going to bet on this game, but I like Pittsburgh to win. I actually do, and I like them to cover too. I think both teams are going to make the playoffs, except I think Pittsburgh's going to be the 5 seed, and I think Buffalo's going to be the 6 seed. Here's what's going to happen. I think Buffalo's going to play New England and lose next week. And I think they're going to have to beat the Jets, and I think they will. I think they'll end up 10-6, and I think they'll get the 6th seed. I think Pittsburgh will finish the season on a very good high note and finish 11-5 and get that 5 seed. Basically, here's what will happen. Baltimore will get the 1, New England will get the 2, Kansas City will get the 3, Houston will get the 4, Pittsburgh 5, Buffalo 6. I got a feeling Tennessee will lose at home twice. I think they're going to lose this week. Now, I know Houston's a 3-point dog. I'm not betting them, but I just think Houston's got the better team. That's just my opinion. And then Pittsburgh, of course, is a 2-point favorite this week. I do like them to win. So my opinion is I think the Titans are going to lose their next 2. And then even though it should be a fun game, the last game of the season, I think it's going to be meaningless, to tell you the truth. The way it's set up is that I think that if they lose against the Saints, there's no way they get into the playoffs even with a win because they'll be 8-7, 9-7. Won't get it done. Because Buffalo have 10 wins with that win against the Jets. Of course, actually, I was wrong. They do have something to play for because if Buffalo loses to the Jets, it'll be 9-7. I believe in that scenario, Tennessee would hold the tiebreaker. But ultimately, my playoff prediction, Again, Baltimore 1, New England 2. Both those teams are getting a bye. Kansas City 3. They'll play Buffalo, who's going to have the 6th seed with a loss this Sunday. And then Houston and Pittsburgh. Houston will host Pittsburgh in a really entertaining game. NFC playoff picture, the Surgeon Bears. They've won 3 straight. They're at Green Bay. Green Bay better be careful, but because they're still fighting for a 1 seed, I think they are going to win this game. I would be really hesitant on them covering. I believe the line's 4.5. I wouldn't bet on this game, but if you're somebody who is going to put action down, shoot me an email. Don't forget, askandrewsfootball@yahoo.com. Basically, with a loss here, the Bears, who are now 7-6, would go 7-7. That would put them really officially out of the race. With a win, if they go 8-6, they could get a wild card. I think 10 games is the minimum this year in the NFC, but they could, with a win, still have a chance. Highly unlikely, but again, I don't see them winning this week. Philly at Washington. Eagles win provides a showdown with Dallas in Philly next week for a winner of the East. They should win this one, but the Redskins have been playing better. Minnesota at the Chargers. This is a game that I could see the Chargers winning. Minnesota not as good on the road as they are at home. They're the only team that's undefeated at home this year. Here's the thing. Minnesota really needs this game because they have home games against Green Bay and Chicago. Now, if Minnesota does win all 3 games and they go 12-4 and Green Bay goes 12-4, unfortunately, the tiebreaker does go to Green Bay. Green Bay has a better divisional record and would win the division. I could see this being a very likely scenario, but Minnesota needs this win. Be careful. I could see an upset here. I wouldn't bet on it, but I could see it. Atlanta at San Francisco. Atlanta's been playing a lot better, but I'd be really surprised if San Francisco gives up the 1 seed here. This could be a letdown game. I don't think it will be, but be careful. But I've been saying this all along. I actually think they got the Rams at home next week before they finish up in Seattle, and I've been saying that I think Seattle wins the division. All right, so basically here's what would happen. When everything's said and done, I think both the Saints, all 3 teams, Saints, Seahawks, and 49ers are all going to be 13-3. Seattle holds the tiebreaker over San Francisco for sweeping the series. Week 3, the Saints beat Seattle, so the Saints would have the tiebreaker over the Seahawks. Again, the tiebreaker wouldn't be relevant because the San Francisco 49ers did not win the division, so they would be the 5 seed. The Saints would be the 1 seed. Seattle would be the 2 seed. All right, and I do think Green Bay will lose somewhere in there and go 12-4, maybe 11-5, probably 12-4, which I think will tie Minnesota. So basically, if you followed all of that, here's the bottom line. Saints get the 1 seed. Seattle gets the 2 seed. Green Bay gets the 3 seed. Dallas, I still think, gets the 4 seed. 13-3 San Francisco will get the 5 seed. And 12-4 or 11-5 Minnesota will end up with the 6 seed, providing a really fun Green Bay, Minnesota playoff game, wild card game, and then San Francisco, Dallas. Kind of an interesting story in history between those two. That will be a very, very fun wild card game. But if you made it this far, this is the advanced class. This is some time to make that motherfucking money. All right. Chiefs, Broncos. You didn't really think I was going to make a video not talk Chiefs, Broncos, okay? Drew Lock comes back home to Kansas City. And this is going to be a fun game. Chiefs D has been playing some really damn good football. The last couple of games, the over-under has been under 50 for the Chiefs. Defense has been playing better, but not this time. Okay, the over-under is 45.5. Take the over. The line dropped from 10 to 9.5. That line's a big number. I know they're fresh off of a win against Houston. I don't see a blowout like it was a little over a month ago where they won 30-6. But the over under, I think the Chiefs defense will put up points. I think Denver will do better than 6. So I'm take the over. That's a smart play here. I wouldn't do the over under on this game, but 45.5 for a Chiefs team at home. Yeah, take the over. I made this earlier. My game of the week, my number one game, Rams are a 1-point favorite at Dallas. They're played great last week. They're just a better team than Dallas. Okay, they're just a better team. Third and final game is on Monday night. Colts at the Saints. The Saints are a 9-point favorite. That's a big number. Honestly, I think they could cover pretty easily for the most part, but the Colts have T.Y. Hilton. The Colts can score. They put up 35 in a loss last week to Tampa Bay. The smart play here is over 46. The Saints are going to score. I think the Colts are going to put up some points. To be perfectly honest, I think the Saints could cover 9. I wouldn't bet that big of a number, but over 46 is a smart play. Okay, 3 games that can make you some extra Christmas money. Chiefs, Broncos, take over 45.5. Take the Rams, 1 point. You could do the money line if it's a better deal for you. Whatever's best for you. What 1 point, it's not that big of a deal. More than likely, you're doing 1 point is probably better than the money line. Either or, whatever's your desire there. Indianapolis and at New Orleans. I do think the Saints would probably cover 9, but the smart play is to take over 46. So listen, if you haven't already, there's a button right down here. I blew it up for you. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Live stream tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time. Anything goes. I'll see you tomorrow.